As the managing editor of USA Armenian Life Magazine stood in front of the United Hungarian House in Los Angeles on October 22nd, his message was as clear as the recent covers of his publication. The 2012 extradition from Hungary of an Azerbaijani axe murderer must be reversed, especially in light of the recent revelations of alleged Azerbaijani bribery reaching the highest levels of the Hungarian government.
That's a major factor that has recently emerged, and to the credit of journalists, courageous journalists, the details of the corruption, big scale, large scale corruption, like we're talking about in the millions of dollars, changing hands.
The Hungarian patriots refuse to give ground.
The story actually starts in October 1956. Hungarians were gathering at the United Hungarian House to commemorate the victims of the authoritarian Soviet Union, whose troops violently crushed the short-lived 1956 Hungarian Revolution. Ironically, many of the Hungarians in attendance were not happy with a representative from what they viewed as Hungary's current authoritarian government, Lajos Kossuth, speaking at the event. Kossuth is very close with Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban of the Fidesz party, who negotiated the release of the Azerbaijani axe-murderer. Kossuth, seen here with Prime Minister Orban, served as mayor of Hungary's second-largest city for 16 years, as well as a parliamentary leader of the Fidesz party for 2 years. Laszlo Vándor represents an opposition party that occupies 16% of the Hungarian parliament.
Orban is one of the biggest, most corrupt prime minister of Hungary. I mean, pretty much as bad as under communist regime when I left.
In 2004, military officers from countries around Hungary met in Budapest for a NATO-sponsored training course. During the night, Azerbaijani soldier Ramil Safarov took an axe to Armenian Army Lieutenant Gurgen Margarian. Safarov was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison in Hungary. But 8 years later, in 2012, he was unexpectedly sent back to Azerbaijan when a deal was struck between Hungarian Prime Minister Orban and Azerbaijani President Aliyev. Recent reporting alleges that as much as $6 to $7 million found its way into the pockets of Prime Minister Orban and his associates. We wanted to ask Lajos Kossuth about this, but he refused our face-to-face request for an on-camera interview.
This gentleman was invited by the Consul General of Hungary. He is not the guest of California Hungarians, but the Consul General makes him to be the guest of American Hungarians, and it is not so.
When the Azeri convicted axe-murderer was freed under the guise of extradition back to Azerbaijan by the corrupt Hungarian government, hundreds of thousands of Hungarians rose up. To their credit, they rose up in Hungary and they voiced their strong voice of protest and they condemned what happened. So this is basically a gesture that we would like to let the world know that we have not forgotten the injustice. We have not forgotten the fact that convicted murderer Ramil Safarov of Azerbaijan is now being treated in Azerbaijan as a national hero. Can you believe that? He's treated as a national hero. So we have not forgotten that. And furthermore, we are joining our fellow activists in Hungary in the person of you and many, many Hungarians and Hungarian Americans demanding the rearrest and re-imprisonment of convicted criminal axe-murderer Ramil Safarov of Azerbaijan.